Welcome to the first of 5 very special sky-high auction videos on how to boost your online auction profits by 200% or more. I'm very excited about this 5-part course because I believe it is the first time that there has ever been a course teaching this cutting-edge information, let alone for free. These 5 videos will give you a glimpse of what you can expect from a full sky-high auctions course. Just to remind you, in the full sky-high auctions course, you'll gain access to over 20 hours of video lessons, written versions of each lesson, plus interviews with the numerous eBay power sellers who share their secrets for making money with online auctions. That said, I do expect that if you follow the advice in this set of 5 videos alone, you should see your profits from online auctions increase by 200% or more. I'm going to try to cram quite a lot of material into these 5 videos, so if it seems too fast for you, or that I've assumed too much prior knowledge on your part, don't worry. In the full Sky High Auctions course, every aspect of making money from online auctions, from registering on eBay, through to listing your first item, photo editing, using wholesalers, getting power seller status, opening an eBay store, plus much more, all in step-by-step detail for your convenience. To start this first video, we're going to take a look at the 4 fundamentals of a successful eBay business. They are leads multiplied by conversion rates, multiplied by margins, multiplied by the average number of transactions that each customer makes with you. For the purposes of this example, we're going to assume that you're selling items that you can regularly stock and replenish, such as iPods, as opposed to rare items, such as antiques and unique collectibles. So, let's say you're selling iPods and iPod accessories. The number of leads you have is a number of different people who visit your auction listings for iPods and iPod accessories. It is not the number of people who buy, but the number of people who simply visit, even if they only stay on the page for a couple of seconds. In other words, leads are all visitors to your listings, whether they buy anything or not. The next important factor is your conversion rate. Your conversions are the number of leads compared with the number of people who actually buy. You can easily calculate your conversion rate by dividing the number of sales that you make by the number of leads that you get. For instance, assuming you are running a 7-day auction. If you were to sell 25 iPods plus 14 iPod accessories in 1 week, and you were to get to 1,839 people visiting your various iPod auction pages during that week, then your conversion rates for iPod sales would be 25 iPods plus 14 accessories equals 39 total sales, divided by 1,839 leads. This gives you a conversion rate of 0.0212, or 2.12%. In other words, out of every 47 visitors to your auctions, you get approximately 1 sale. Okay, to quickly summarize so far, leads are the people who visit your auctions, and your conversion rate is the percentage of visitors who actually buy something. Now let's look at margins. Your margins are the amount of profit that you make on each sale, once you have taken out your costs. So, if the iPods and accessories that you sold during the week cost you $2,831 to buy wholesale, and you receive $4,329 from your sales, then your total margin for the 39 items you have sold this week is $1,498. You can then work out your average margin per item by dividing the total margin of $1,498 by the 39 sales, which works out at $38.41 per item. Although, in reality, you would want to calculate your margins separately for your iPods and accessories. So, your leads are the number of people who visit your auction. Your conversion rate is a percentage of visitors who actually buy something. And your margins are the profit that is left over after you have taken out all of your costs in acquiring and listing the items. Bear in mind that on eBay, your costs will also have to include eBay listings, PayPal fees, and any other overheads you may have. So these all have to be taken into consideration when working out your margins. Finally, the average number of transactions is the number of times that each customer buys from you. So, if 1 out of every 8 people who purchase an iPod from you buys an accessory or a second iPod, then your average number of transactions per customer would be 1.125. So now that we have worked out the four parts that make up the profitability of our business, we can put them all together and work out the overall profitability of our business. First, we've got our leads, which are 1,839. Then we multiply this by our conversion rate of 2.12%. We multiply that by our average margins of 38.41. Again, by our average number of transactions per customer, which is 1.125%. This gives us an overall profit of $2,022.39. The reason why these profit factors are so important is that if you can increase each of the four profit parts by a small amount, it can have an exponential result on the performance of your business. If you can increase the number of leads to your listings, your number of conversions, your profit margins, and the transactions per customer, all just by a tiny amount, then overall you'll see a huge increase in profitability. For example, if Mr. Brown owns the iPod business in our example, and he increases each of these factors by 40%, here's how much his profit would increase by. Adding 40% onto each gives a new leads figure of 2,574.6, up from 1,839, a new conversion rate of 2.98%, margins of 53.77 per item, and an increase in the average number of transactions per customer to 1.575. When we multiply these together, this gives us a new total profit of $6,497.50. That new figure of $6,497.50 represents an increase in profit of 221%. So, we've established that these four factors play a crucial part in generating your online business profits on eBay. And you'll be pleased to know that in each of the following four videos, we're going to be taking a closer look at each of these factors and specific ways to boost each of these in your online auction business. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. It lays the foundation for the next four to follow. Don't forget that you can download the PDF version of this lesson to read over again later and keep this beside you while you work. See you next time.